guys, today we're going to be playing with yet another Halloween palette. Is anybody surprised? Like I said in my past video, I feel like it's just never ending. But I'm here for it because it is a lot of fun and I'm really excited for today's palette because today we're going to be playing with the battybean and Shroud Hallobean palette. Now, if you guys don't know who Betty Jean is, what are you doing on my channel? I mean, honestly, I'll link her down below. I've known Betty Jean for what feels like, honestly, forever. It's really been forever. Like, I knew her before I even started my channel, and she was one of the inspirations for me to start my channel. So I have a soft spot in my heart for her. You know that, and I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm excited to play with this palette. Now, I've had a lot of people ask if I have the first palette that came out with, that she did with Shroud, and I actually don't because they told me they were gonna send it to me in PR, and then I just never got it. I asked a few times and they said they were gonna send it and I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy it then. So here we are. I still haven't bought it. I still don't have it. So we're gonna test this out. I did buy this myself because I didn't want the same thing to happen last time to happen again. So I'm excited to have this in my collection, and I don't know if I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I've been looking at this and trying to figure out like a look to do with this. I'm only gonna do one look. I simply don't have time to do more. I wish I could because it's a beautiful palette and I feel like this color story is quite challenging in a good way. So I really want to play more with this palette, but right now I just don't have time. So I'm gonna do one look and just hopefully give you guys a little bit of inspiration if you picked up this palette and you want to see more looks with it. So that's pretty much gonna be it. I'm not gonna review this palette. Betty Jean is my friend. I'm not gonna say anything bad about this. That's just how it's gonna be. So we're just gonna kind of jump straight in. We're just gonna play with some makeup, have some fun, and I'm excited. So I'm thinking there's kind of a reason why I decided to wear a lot of orange today. I have an orange lipstick on. I kind of have like an orangey, like warm tone blush on. And so I kind of want to play with some of these oranges. So I think that's going to be the plan. I think I'm going to start with this shade as my transition shade and then maybe deepen it up with the blue or maybe the green, probably the green. One thing I will say about this palette is you got to be a little bit careful just color theory wise to not mix too many of these kind of oranges together with the greens, especially when it comes to matte, because it can end up getting a little bit muddy, but just be careful and keep them kind of separate and I think you'll be fine. So this is a shade called Losers Club and I'm going to use that as my, oh, I need to prime my eyes. Using the Natasha Denona eyeshadow base as I always do. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going in with the shade Losers Club as my transition shade here, and we're gonna see what I can do with this color story and if I can come up with something that's not super complicated, but still uses a lot of these shades just so I can have some fun with this and test it out. Like I was saying before, if you don't follow Betty Jean, I will have her video linked down below where she revealed this. I will also link her channel, obviously. Go check her out, go subscribe to her because she is amazing. She's very into like spooky stuff and Halloween, and I know a lot of you guys are too, even if I'm not the biggest Halloween person. So if you want someone who's really into Halloween, definitely go give her a follow. But I'm sure most of you who are subscribed to me are probably subscribed to her already. That is a really pretty color. I feel like it's leaning a little more sort of browny orange rather than just orange, which I'm really not mad at that. I think that looks very pretty, and I think that the green shade is going to blend a little bit better into this because it does have sort of that brown undertone to it. I know this palette is currently out of stock, but it does say on their website that it will be restocked either late September, early October. So, I mean, that's basically now, so it'll probably restock soon. It's hard to say with indie brands. I mean, things happen, so it's tough for them to know exact dates for things, but just know I'm sure it's going to get restocked pretty soon. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Maybe I'll do the greens under my eye. Maybe that'll be a lot though, but it could also be kind of fun. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm next gonna go into the dark green shade here, which is called Wicked. And I'm gonna start by just kind of stamping that in the very outer corner of my eye as my deepening shade and also bringing it into my crease, but I don't want to, like I said before, over blend these shadows. So I'm just gonna kind of put this down and then blend the edges ever so slightly. I'm not gonna take it all the way through my crease. I'm just gonna keep it to mostly the outer corner of my lid as well as a little bit into my crease. And then I'm also going to wrap it around and take it down to my lower lash line, and then probably use the lighter of the greens kind of in the front portion. I think that's gonna kind of, I don't know, make sense. These shadows are quite powdery, so you don't want to go in and start swirling. You can really just like tap a little bit and you'll get a lot on your brush. And if you are worried about getting fallout, because a lot of these shades are quite dark, I would definitely recommend doing your eyes first, but I feel like I'm pretty confident that I'm not gonna get fallout with most formulas, and I literally can't remember the last time I got so much fallout on my face that it like ruined my look or anything like that. I don't know why I don't get a lot of fallout. I think I'm just like careful, and I tend to not go in and start swiping before I actually press the shadow onto my eye first and then I start blending. I think that's really helpful. But like I said, if you are someone who is a little scared of darker shadows and you don't want to get fallout on your face, definitely do your eyes first if you plan on using some of these shades, because they are quite powdery, like I said. But I think these are looking really nice together, and I don't think that ended up looking muddy at all because I don't feel like I over blended them. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. I might have to finesse just a little bit more on the edge here, kind of as I go along. But I think next, let's go in with the other green shade. This one is called It's Showtime, and I'm gonna take that on the front portion of my lower lash line. I'm just gonna kind of put that right here. I think for my lid, I want to use 2 shades. I'm gonna start with this one actually, which is a multi-chrome, and it kind of shifts from green to sort of dark purpley-ish. Kind of hard to explain, but I'm gonna take a little bit of this. I don't think I want to use a glitter primer with this. I'm just gonna spray it a little bit. And I'm gonna put that basically on the middle of my lid and blend it outwards into the matte shade. I'm gonna try to put on enough of this that you can see the shift when I'm done, but I am gonna, of course, put a lighter shade in the front portion of my lid because that is just kind of what I prefer. But that is a really, really pretty, very smooth multi-chrome, and I feel like I'm already kind of seeing the shift in that. That is really pretty. And it's definitely a black-based multi-chrome, so you can easily do like smoky eyes with this, and I think that would look really, really fun. Okay, and then for the front portion, I don't know how this is going to turn out, if the contrast is going to be too stark, but I'm gonna take this one, which is like an iridescent green shade. This one is called Ghoulish, and I wanna try to blend this into the multi-chrome. I'm not sure, I might have to merge it with one of the other oranges just to get a better gradient, but I really want this to be like super stark and contrasting. So I'm just placing this first down in the front portion of my lid. I don't want to start blending yet because I don't want to get any of that multi-chrome onto my brush. Like I really want this portion to be very, very bright. I'm gonna take this in my inner corner as well as wrap it down on my lower lash line as well. This is such a fun inner corner shade. I really like this one. And I'm pretty sure if you want a green highlighter, you can use this on your face as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen Betty Jean do that a few times and it looks really good on her. I'm just gonna intensify this a little bit and I'm gonna spray it. Just put some more of that onto my lid and I'm gonna start blending that over the multi-chrome and see if I'm able to get a blend. Like I said, I might have to merge this with an orange because this is quite the stark contrast. Yeah, I'm not sure I love how these are blending together. I'm gonna go in with a shade called Woodsboro, which is this one, and that's definitely going to help the blend. I know I'm going in with a lot here and not really having the best plan, but that's kind of how I like to do my makeup anyway. I like to experiment and try things and just kind of see how it goes and add on more if I have to. But I think this is doing a much better job at just getting a bit more of a smooth gradient on the lid here. The nice thing about complementary colors when it comes to eyeshadows is that it's a lot easier to blend a contrasting color together if they're shimmers rather than if they're mattes, because shimmers don't really muddy in the same way that mattes do. So this is actually working quite well. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finesse this a little bit, just go in with the same colors again and make sure that they are in the spot where I want them to be, just intensify everything a little bit, and then I will come back when the look is done and I'll show you what I ended up doing, but I think this is gonna turn out really, really fun. So here is the final look, and I gotta say I really like this. It's very grungy, it's very Halloween. I feel like it's very much the vibe of the color story. I feel like I have the whole color story sort of on my eyes, and if you saw me and you have this palette or you've seen this palette, you'd be like, oh, are you wearing the Hallobean palette? You know, like you would just kind of look at this and be like, ah, I know what you're wearing, and I think that's really cool. So to finish off, I did some green in my waterline. I used the About Face liner in the shade Line Artist. I did get the scent in PR. My lashes today are from Auric, and I used the style Clouded. I ended up finally trying the full lash in this style, and I had to cut off like 2 little pieces on the end, but I think these are beautiful. Like I think these are, I like these more than I like the half lashes, and I feel like the half lash and the full lash, even though they are like in the same style, the full lash is a little bit more dramatic than the half lash. I've found that with both of the ones that I do have, and I think I like the full lashes cut more than I like the half lashes not cut. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really like these. I think they're very, very pretty, and they're super easy to put on. I really like the Auric lashes so far. I've had a really good time with them, and I can definitely see myself repurchasing when the ones that I have fallen apart and I've used them a lot. I also did end up using the green shade here in the palette as my highlighter, and I think it looks really nice. Like, I'm surprised because I kind of thought, just from like having tried it on my eyes, that it would be a little more, not opaque, but a little kind of chalky looking, because it is a pretty dry shade, and I feel like on the lids it's not looking super shiny, but I feel like it performs better as a highlighter on the face than it does as an eyeshadow, but that is just my opinion. I also used it as my brow bone highlight, and I think it is perfect for that. So I had a really good time with this palette. Let me know if you picked this palette up. Let me know what your favorite color combination or shadow combination to do with this palette is. I would love some more inspiration myself, honestly, because I do find this color story to be kind of challenging. Like I said in the beginning, I feel like if you want to do very kind of basic looks with it, it's easier, but if you want to kind of try to combine some of these colors, it's a little bit harder to make sure that things don't end up getting muddy. But I do think it's a very unique color story, and I really think that she kind of pushed it out of the box a little bit with this one, because I don't feel like a lot of brands would be brave enough to put out something like this. So I think it's really, really fun. I'm happy I picked it up. Again, congrats, Betty Jean. I think that your collabs are beautiful, and I'm so excited that you get the opportunity to work with a brand that you absolutely love. I think that is great. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see some other first impression videos, I'll put my playlist up there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.